Hey witches, it's Willow Moonlight. Happy Vlogstice. This is day 3 of the series, and today I want to talk about keeping the holidays pagan. Now obviously, if you are not pagan, this video is not meant to be targeted to you. This is meant to be for somebody who is pagan and maybe is struggling to keep this time of year pagan. As you know, many people probably celebrate Christmas, or at least around here where I live, it's, you know, the Christianity would be the dominant religion, or even if you know, are secular, you would just celebrate the holidays in a more, I don't know, non-religious kind of way. You know, most people put up a tree and things like that. So 5 ways to keep the holidays pagan for those of us who are pagan. Number 1 is change your language. I, for many years, would refer to the tree as a Christmas tree, and then I would refer to it, as I just now, I called it the tree. Start calling it the Yule tree. I understand this may be difficult and you may have to use terms interchangeably if you were in the broom closet in certain circumstances. However, I encourage you not to say the word Christmas tree. The tree is okay, I suppose. Yule tree would be the most ideal in my opinion. And the same goes for things like, you know, Christmas decorations or Christmas lights. It should be said the Yule decorations, the Yule lights, all those things. And something that I think is important is if somebody says, you know, Merry Christmas to you, the best advice I ever received was when I was a teenager. This was actually when I was still a Christian, but I had a psychologist who was Jewish, and I kind of like said something, I can't remember how we got into the conversation, it was totally off topic, but she mentioned that she was Jewish, and I'm like, well, what happens, you know, when people say Merry Christmas to you? And she said, I just smile and say thank you. So if somebody says Merry Christmas to you, you don't necessarily have to get into a lengthy conversation if you don't want to. I can understand, you know, if you're at work or something, where I work in a nursing home, you know, most people would celebrate Christmas and they don't quite understand, you know, the residents don't quite understand why people would celebrate something other than Christmas. And it can also be very emotionally upsetting to them to think or to know that some people don't celebrate Christmas. I actually one time had to sit with a resident because she was bawling, and she was just so upset because she was sad for all the people that don't celebrate Christmas and don't know what it is. So I'm not going to explain to somebody in their 90s that I don't celebrate Christmas. So just, you know, if someone says Merry Christmas, just say thank you. Simple as that. The second thing I would recommend to keep the holidays pagan would be to listen to Yule music. I can leave some of my favorite songs in the description below that you can check out. This is something that really helped me in the first couple of years that I started celebrating Yule. I did have to replace some old music that I actually really did like. Some Christmas music is absolutely beautiful, and I typically don't listen to music that have, like, you know, that's like Christ oriented. I do think it's more beautiful than, say, like Jingle Bells or something. I don't know. That's just me. However, there is a lot of beautiful pagan music out there, and I encourage everybody who is pagan to listen to some of the music and support your fellow pagan musicians, artists, whoever. And the third way to keep the keep Yule or keep this time pagan would be to do some research and some reading on this time of year and how to incorporate some of the old ways into the new, as some might say. So old traditions, the ancient ways, if you want, looking at some old stories. I do have some books here. This is the Supermarket Sabbat. Sorry, I keep saying I'm trying not to talk like that, but it's so hard. This book, Supermarket Sabbats, is really good. There's a whole section on here on the winter solstice. There's different, see, I did it again. There's some information on Yule in this book. There's also different like recipes, like potions and potpourris, different, let me see, yeah, different spells and rituals and things that you can do. So I really like this book. This is probably one of my favorite books. Another book that I actually just got recently, this is actually an early Yule gift, is Incense, Oils, and Brews. This is a Scott Cunningham book. I will be trying out the Yule incense recipe that's in here. Did that again. I will be trying out the Yule incense recipe. I went out today to grab some supplies that I needed. It's like I went out today to look for some cedar and fir and spruce and all that. However, I could not find everything that I needed. So I will be venturing out sometime on my next couple days off and looking for those items that I have yet to find. And I will follow up in a video with how I did. Another book is just Sabbats. There's lots of information on here about, you know, some of the old traditions, different songs and recipes and little information like that. I also really like Circle Round. This is a reclaiming book by Starhawk, Diane Baker, and Anne Hill. This is about raising children in goddess traditions. They have a little section on each of the Sabbats here, and there's different songs and chants and stories and crafts, recipes, and all kinds of little things in here that you can do to bring forth the energy of this time of year. The fourth thing that you can do to help keep this time pagan would be to make this time a sacred time. So for me, I am lucky that I was able to book time off of work during the solstice, so that way I can be here at home to celebrate the shortest day and the longest night of the year and to bring back the light. I will be, and I have been planning that day for quite a while. I have lots of things that I need to test out and try out before the big day, or rather the short day, the little day, and the big night. So yeah, definitely do what you can to make that time sacred and prioritize it. This is something important to you. And the fifth thing that I can do, and this is more of a just how to keep your life pagan in general, is to spend a little bit of time each day acknowledging your religion, your path, your beliefs, your deities, etc. I understand that we all get busy and we don't always have the privacy, but there's so many little things that you can do just to simply acknowledge. You could be sitting on the bus going somewhere or in your car, and you can just give yourself like 10 seconds to think about your path, or to give thanks to your deity, or be grateful, you know, to connect it to your spirituality in some way. You could, you know, listen to pagan music on your iPod. You can, you know, have some quiet time in the morning, you know, pray over your cup of coffee. You can light a candle at that time. You can burn some incense in honor of your deity or something that you want to bring forward. And again, if you have children and you find it very difficult to work around that, again, Raising Children in Goddess Religions, Circle Round, a really good book. They have some really good tips and advice on how to do that. So I wish you a very happy solstice, and I look forward to making videos for the rest of the month for Vlogstice. Okay, bye.